Okay, so now we're ready to make the design for the page, to put the page together. So there are a bunch of ways to do this. If you're working in a site builder, you might jump in like Wix and start dragging modules around and just building this on the fly. You could build it from scratch. There aren't too many times where that's required these days. There are so many resources and frameworks and tools and snippets. You shouldn't really need to design anything from scratch. Your time is much better spent doing the previous steps, the research. For the sake of this exercise, I am going to just jump in Figma and do it from scratch, but just keep that in mind. So I'll paste this in here as a guide to work from. Okay, so we need a good photo here. A photo like this one, but just a bit nicer looking. Now, I don't have access to any company photography, so here is a stock photo that looks more realistic. And on that note, if you can't get access to a real photo, a real looking photo is the next best thing. Make that a bit bigger. He's a very handsome little fella. Just a quick dump here. How can we present that? Because this is quite a long table, but because it's below the main focus for the page, that's not the end of the world. We could just list that in a long table underneath. Okay, that's starting to come together. Still a lot of work visually. This is where we are at so far. And the reason I've used vertical oriented photos is because this type of photo is likely to be taken really quickly by one of the staff, taking a quick shot on their phone, grabbing a quick photo. So, okay, so now I'm going to populate the packages. This is starting to look a lot easier to understand. So if we come back to the original, it's very hard to see what's missing from each package. Whereas now we can see horizontally. Top item, shampoo and conditioner bath, that's there for all of them. Nail trimming, blow dry, air cleaning, you get the idea. Now, if the business you are designing for has a good star rating on Google, it is obviously always good to include that, if possible, right up here in the hero. That's not the only kind of social proof we will use, but it's a very good one. So there's a lot going on here. It doesn't look too messy, but there's a lot of value packed in here. The title, the image, the subtitle, the rating, the certification logos, and the text that will speak to it. And don't forget the pencil banner here as well, and the call button. So above the fold, which does still exist, above the fold, there is a lot of value here compared to here. This feels more relevant than this. Okay, so this is where we are at so far. starting to look quite solid. This is about the point where I would start to work in real copy. So that's what I'm going to do now. I haven't done the footer yet, and there are a few other little pieces that need a bit more development, but I'm 80-90% of the way there. So I'm going to start working on the copy at the same time so that it kind of all just comes together at the end. But already this is looking much, much clearer and more engaging than the original page, which, as experience shows, leads to huge increases in conversion just by answering those questions, one by one throughout the page. We end up with something much, much more effective at converting people. Let's start working in the copy. Okay, so I'll use ChatGPT to get some quick ideas here. My prompt is as follows. I'm writing an H1 for a landing page that offers dog grooming services. The angle I want to take here is that your dog is going to be cared for and loved. I don't want to say this outright, but I want it to be implied. The title, of course, needs to state what this company does, which is dog grooming. Give me 10 variations of differing copy or headline styles, each with no more than 10 words. Okay, I've said I like these three. Play around some more with these ones. Okay, this is what I have so far. So we have premium dog grooming for your best friend, using that best friend language, kind of alluding to the love and care aspect. And for the subtitle here, speaking to the range of breeds and sizes, we have expert care and grooming for dogs of all shapes and sizes. So that reads pretty well. Fully certified to offer your dog the best treatment. Okay, so we're looking pretty good here. This is the original page here. This is our new page. It's looking pretty solid as far as I'm concerned. So let's go back through our question list and see how our new page stacks up. Now, 12 out of 84 was the score that this original page achieved. Let's see how our new page stacks up. It looks a heck of a lot more solid. Let's quantify it now. So what does this company do? Am I in the right place? So premium dog grooming is answered immediately. The photo's there. I mean, the whole thing screams dog grooming, so we're okay. Where does this company operate? So we've solved this in two places. One in this link in the banner, 29 locations NZ wide, and we've also put a wee store finder piece here near the packages because that's when it makes sense to sort of show that. Will my dog be looked after and loved? Again, one of the most important things we've been trying to hammer home the whole time. So does the photo help with that? Yes. Premium dog grooming for your best friend. That definitely alludes to it with the language we're using. Expert care and grooming for dogs of all shapes and sizes. We've got a bunch of photos of happy dogs being groomed and worked on here. We have our featured dog groomers showing them with their dogs, sort of alluding to the fact that they are dog people, just like you. So I would say that we have definitely solved for that. Are these guys good at what they do? So for that, we have our Google rating here, 4.8 out of 185 reviews. That part being very important, if that's something you do have available to show. We have the logos of certification as well. We have a little blurb here about how many years experience these guys have. We've got a whole row of social proof here from Google reviews, so we've definitely answered this. Is this company aimed at me? So, okay, let's have a look. Expert care and grooming for dogs of all shapes and sizes. We've also tried to show a range of breeds here. We've got little teeny tiny dogs. We've got, I forget what these ones are called, bigger dog here, in between dogs. I think we've covered that. Can I trust this company? We have the ratings. We have the certification. Where to from here? Is there a clear call to action? Yes, there is. Book now. Can you take large breeds? We answered that. Business hours. Business hours, no, we haven't answered that. Not on the first page. You need to click through to the booking manager for that. And the reason we haven't answered it on this page is because it depends which store you go to. And it doesn't make sense to list store hours for every single store here. It would be behind a click. So I would say that would be answered once you click, say, the store finder button. What is the best service or package for me? Well, we've made these a heck of a lot clearer to understand because now it's common items first. So the whole top row is the same. The whole second row is the same. Once you reach the bottom of this list, you get the next items here. We also have a most popular banner here too. So much easier to understand. Are you certified? We answered that. Do you cage the dogs? We answered that in 2 places, in the banner here and down in the FAQ. What if my dog is bitey? That's in the FAQ. Do I need to pick up my dog straight away? Didn't answer that actually. Forgot about that one. How experienced are the groomers? We answered that in their little profile. Can you take a dog with special needs? I believe that is also in the FAQ. 75 out of 81. We could pretty easily get that a little bit higher. So all in all, a huge improvement on the original page. This took a matter of hours from the question hunting, the research phase, to auditing the original page, whipping up a really quick wireframe, and in my case, designing this as a design file in Figma from scratch. But you could just as easily start doing this in a website builder if you're using one. As I've mentioned before on the previous videos, I've used this process for many years at different companies, including larger ones such as Verizon. The last time I used this process was for a bathroom renovation company. I did this exact thing that you've just watched, and we saw a 140% increase in inquiries for bathroom renovations, which is massive. And there's no special hack or secret sauce here. It's just going through this process logically and trying to get into the user's frame of mind. And you can do that without embarking on some huge user research project, as you've just seen. If you watched the first video in this 3-video series, you'll see how easy that actually is. And it all comes down to creating this list of questions, ranking the importance of each question, and then making sure you are answering each of those questions, usually in more than one place, throughout the page. I hope that's helped. I hope this will help you to build better landing pages. I will put a link to this page just as an image file in the description of the video as well, just so you can take a closer look at those if you want to. That's all from me. Take care.